Law enforcement expert Aaron Cohen joins us live to highlight the valiant rescue of two young boys trapped in Texas. Aaron.
Good evening, Trace. Tonight's call out takes us to where we're in Vidor, Texas. Two young lives get saved. Officer Michael Stevenson, first to arrive at a house engulfed in flames. As he steps out of his patrol car, he's met by a frantic mother who tells him that her two children are trapped inside the front room. Without missing a beat, Officer Stevenson immediately runs towards the house, locating a window where the children were last seen. An air conditioning unit blocks the only way in. Stevenson begins pushing and pulling on it with all of his strength, finally managing to dislodge the heavy unit, creating a narrow opening to the room. Just as the heat and smoke intensifies, Officer Moss arrives to assist. Together they reach through the window and pull out a 7- and a 9-year-old child just in the nick of time. Within a minute of removing the children, flames engulfed the room, pouring out of every window they had just escaped through. Both children were rushed to the hospital for smoke inhalation, but thanks to these heroic officers, Trace, they are alive today.
Aaron, thank you. Bravo. Let's bring in Vidor, Texas police officers Michael Stevenson and Ashton Moss. Officer Stevenson, to you first. The mom says her sons are trapped inside. The building is engulfed in flames. Only one window. It's blocked by an air conditioning unit. What are you thinking? What's the process there, sir?
That was the only way we were going to be able to get in. The front door was blocked by smoke and fire. And so I knew there was a way that we could get in through that window unit, either by pulling it out of the window or pushing it in like we did.
Yeah. Officer Moss, you say you couldn't see because the flames were so big. So what were you thinking? Did you have an alternate plan if that didn't work?
Yeah, actually, I saw a step ladder right next to the house. So that was my next plan, is trying to get up the step ladder and trying to find another way in the house or a different window to breach. Yeah,
it's crazy. But, you know, what did the boys say when you finally got them out, Officer Stevenson? Because I know there was videotape of the boys thanking you. But when you were pulling them out, were they saying anything?
They weren't really saying anything. They were just trying to get out. Of course, they did thank us once we got out to the road.
How did that make you feel, Officer Stevenson, when two young boys and you saved their life? How does it make you feel when they thank you for that?
It was an awesome feeling. Makes doing what we do worth it.
I mean, the thing that really amazes people, Officer Moss, is that, you know, I think you may have told somebody or somebody said on scene that 40 more seconds and that's all the time you had. You were out of time. Is that fair? Is that right?
Yes, sir, 100%. It was a very close call.
And so did you know at the time that you were out of time?
Really, I mean, that doesn't really cross your mind. You just try to do it as fast as you can. I remember whenever we ran the kids to the road, I looked back and you can just see nothing but fire coming out of that same window that we were just at. So, I mean, we only had seconds to spare.
Yeah, and Officer Stevenson, when you talked to the mother for the first time, what was the mother's reaction to you getting her two young sons out?
She was very thankful. I think she was still in shock at everything that was happening, but she was very thankful to both of us.
And Officer Moss, can you tell me, how did the boys end up stuck inside?
I think it's still in an investigation right now, so we're not entirely sure about how the fire started or how they were stuck inside.
Yeah, it's interesting, Aaron Cohen, because you wonder what compels. You see these people. We call them body cam heroes for a reason. What compels law enforcement officers to do this kind of stuff, to go in there and actually save the day? And they saved the day for this family and for many in their community.
Well, there's no doubt that these guys are body cam heroes, Trace. What I think makes this one really interesting is the tactical decision making to go right after that air conditioning unit. So they had to they had to do a vulnerability assessment as they're approaching the structure. They see that air conditioner and no tools like the firemen, no halogen tool, nothing, no sledgehammers, and then begin physically start dislodging that air conditioning unit, which is very heavy, to make that decision under that stress with that increased heat getting hotter and hotter, and then getting that thing out of the way and then being able to get those kids and pull them out. It's that functioning under stress again. And I think that's a calling, Trace. I don't think that's something you can learn in the academy. So good on these guys.
Officer Stevenson, very quickly, would you do it the same way again if you had it to do over again?
Yes, sir.
And Officer Moss, is there something that you'd like to say? Is there something that you think is compelling about this story that we have missed?
We just had the good Lord watching over us that day. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, you guys are both body cam heroes. You're heroes in your community, and I'm sure the families and the people that you work for and with are very pleased to have you on their team. Thank you. Aaron Cohen, thank you as well.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.